The occasionally feverish tone of some of the coverage angered DJ and world music guru Andy Kershaw so much he wrote a furious article for the Independent newspaper about it, accusing the media of treating the Haitians like savages. Perhaps surprisingly, some of the most measured comments about the use of violent footage came from Fox News.
We've seen video of sporadic violence, but you know, the camera can sometimes enlighten us and it can sometimes distort the truth.
Yes, there are these isolated incidents of violence, and the cameras tend to gravitate towards those and highlight them, magnify them because of that. The people of Haiti really are dealing with this with an admirable dignity and sense of calm.
Just to be clear, the vast majority of BBC, ITN and Sky's coverage of the disaster has been exemplary.
They also undoubtedly helped raise a lot of money by repeatedly plugging the appeal details. Everywhere you looked there was a message telling you to call DEC.
It was a bit like looking at post-it notes on Ant's fridge.
Speaking of aid, in the wake of any major catastrophe, people ask why God didn't intervene.
This time, however, Sky were there to capture the glitzy moment. God himself turned up and announced he was going to do something about it.
I don't know who's available, but I will get a record out within 7 to 10 days.
ITN feverishly watched as Simon Cowell assembled a charity single after someone less powerful than himself.
Some bloke called Gordon Brown, apparently, asked him to help out.
We were told an impressive roster of top stars, including Jalus and Lion Girl, would appear on the single, although Sky's Cade Burley seemed most excited at the prospect of one phallocentric performer sticking his oar in.
Nothing like a bit of rod, is there?
The song picked was REM's Everybody Hurts, a soaring and soulful number about the possibility of hope, but a choice that caused heated debate on the set of Live from Studio 5.
The song, it's quite deep, isn't it? It's quite... I thought it might have been more of a uplifting, kind of like inspiration kind of song.
What, something like Come On Eileen, yeah?
By the time they put all the footage and that on it, it might probably make you cry, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably will.
I think it's a little bit too sad.
How can it be too sad though?
But it's such a sad thing that's going on. I think perhaps people need something a little bit uplifting, a little bit inspiring to say, you know, we can get through this, we're going to help out and all come together. And instead I'm just like, God, it's just so depressing, really.
God, it is depressing. Oh wait, look, don't miss Joe Swash.
Joe, there he is, hello.
While the children debated Simon's song choice, across the pond even bigger stars than Joe Swash were gathering for a glittering live 2-hour telethon.
The lineup included literally every musician you could ever want to hear, and Sting. Hollywood did its bit too. Brad Pitt beamed down looking like a man from the future.
In fact, the cream of Movieland was there, manning the most star-studded call centre in history. There was Steven Spielberg off Jurassic Park, he was there. Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts.
Even Taylor Swift off the VMA Awards.
Hello, this is Taylor Swift.
Oh, you're Taylor. I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
One of the dominating news themes of 2009 was the recession, which, as we all know, is now completely over. Sky News got plenty of mileage out of it, literally, when they sent one of their stars on an investigative bike ride around the UK. It looked like this. Finance and transport, and Sky News' Dermot Murnahan traverses the southwest of England on a bike, seeking out tales of financial woe in a series of reports called, amazingly, The Economic Cycle. Apart from getting a sore arse, he found plenty of sorrowful and jobless real people to talk to in what was surely designed to be the most heart-tugging reportage of the year.
Trouble is, he didn't always seem to find quite as much financial misery as he wanted.
What happens, you know, if the sun doesn't shine, if it pours with rain, or the tourists just don't come because they haven't got the money? How much longer can you last?
Well, I think we can last. I think people are realising that they're not going abroad, and I think they're realising that our country, and certainly Cornwall, is just such a stunning place, and most miss it.
Next.
Just talking to Ian out there, I mean, it's fingers crossed, isn't it, for this season? You don't know how it's going to pan out, do you, Sue?
It's looking good, though.
Why do you say that, Kirsten?
Bookings are up 50% from this time last year, and we're having a lot more inquiries.
Oh, God.
How are you being treated by your banks? Are they saying, look, Tony, Julie, we understand times are hard, do you need a bit of extra cash here, or are they saying something different?
I think haven't been too bad. I've not had a problem particularly, and I must admit that I've been
Fascinating.
very helpful.
Brilliant,
and,
great,
at the moment,
great,
I've not had any
brilliant.
problems.
Oh, Jesus.
How are things holding up in this economic downturn for you?
It's not too bad actually. It's looking good for the coming season.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Why are you optimistic?
Look, I don't want to underplay recession, but guys like you and the newspapers do love a lousy story about how we're going to hang the handcart.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
in many ways, what's
Fascinating.
happening, I think is a really good thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, whatever.
You know, sometimes you see something on the news that makes you realise the crossover between current affairs and celebrities really has gone too far.
I'm John, I'm Edward, and you're watching Sky News. For the latest, I'm John and Edward.
Stars are everywhere. They're invited to explain public health campaigns.
You're here to tell us the pale is good.
Pale is great. Yes.
It's a good message to our viewers.
They're patiently asked their expert opinion on Gordon Brown's chances.
I think he's dogged enough to try and stick it out. But if the momentum keeps on going the way that it does, he won't be able to survive.
They even queue up to flog any old tut on the Andrew Marr show.
From one Australian megastar to another, Rolf Harris. I'm going to be talking to Rolf in a moment, but first a quick blast from Christmas in the Sun, his latest musical foray.
Christmas in the sun, come on down and join us for a Christmas in the sun.
Yeah, it's making current affairs look a bit shit, really.
Celebrities, of course, get an easy time of it compared to politicians.
Put Sky's well-respected Adam Bolton opposite a politician and he won't shy away from asking difficult questions.
But stick a star in his eyeline and tickety-tock, it's bum kiss o'clock.
Now Sir Anthony Hopkins is showcasing his own paintings at exhibitions in London and Edinburgh.
Yes, it seems Sir Hannibal's done some paintings so marvellous even noted critic Adam Bolton struggles to describe them.
They're sort of two sorts, it seems. They're realist landscapes and then they're the more sort of fantastical dreamscapes.
To be fair, that is probably the 9th best painting of a purple elephant I've seen since primary school.
I just follow my instinct. I paint in a childlike way. I don't have a sense of... I have no training in perspective.
No.
So I just paint as a...
Rich man with time on his hands?
Did it help you playing Picasso? Has that helped you as an artist?
Yes.
Jesus, Bolton's being so deferential, it's as though he's mistaken him for some kind of ancient forest god.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, Wolfman, Thor and artist. A lot to look forward to. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
5 News is the logical extension of all this starry ring-licking. Often it's not like a news bulletin at all, more like watching a boy reading Heat magazine off an auto cue.
For our latest celebrity report, Louise Redknapp explains how she's hoping to give glamour a good name.
Hi, I'm here in Selfridges in London where we're preparing for the really great garage sale.
The sole benefit to using Louise Redknapp as a celebrity reporter is it helpfully marks the ultimate low.
I mean, really, nothing could possibly be worse than that.
Tiger 4! Okay, if you like, Jed, but you're going to love tonight's show.
Yes, you are, because we're going to be hearing from the boys later on, plus all the stars from the National TV Awards. We'll be asking if you would choose laughs over looks, and we'll also be hearing from Simon Cowell.
We're live from Studio 5!
I take that back.
Yes, Live from Studio 5 is the first news programme broadcast directly from hell, hosted by a large-breasted duckling, an incoherent footballer and a 200-foot wall of searing white tooth enamel. It's a nightmarish parade of one lightweight item after another, like being force-fed marshmallows by a bastard in a glittery hat.
Incredibly, this actually counts towards 5's news output, the stuff it has to broadcast as part of its public service remit.
Still, they do cover the issues. Issues like, are hairy legs horrid?
Why on earth would you not shave your legs? I just don't get it.
Is Ricky Gervais funny or hilarious? And should you give money to the homeless or just f*** them off?
Well, give them a sandwich, give them the time of day, they're human beings, but don't give them cash on the streets.
Sometimes there's so much heated debate you can't even hear it.
Generation, my generation,
there's a real double standard that goes on.
Wells,
Yeah, I remember that. I remember getting that is
it
is too much, and also there's a strange double standard that goes on.
Largely, though, Studio 5 covers celebrities, and it really cares about their well-being.
David Hasselhoff, what can we say? The Hoff, what's going on with this fella? Reports from America say he's been taken to hospital because of his drinking again even. Now, apparently 17-year-old daughter Haiti had to raise the alarm when she found him totally sozzled at his home in LA. It's the second time she's had to do this. Why does he keep doing this to his daughter? He's got to get a grip on him, surely.
Still, if you want entertainment news, where better to look than an entertainment news show?
But surely if you're an entertainment news show, you should at least attempt to deal with the news aspect and not just act like an unconditional ass-kissing machine.
For instance, those of you with long memories will recall last week we told you the story of Dappy from the group N-Dubs, who'd made headlines by sending threatening texts, even though he was helping front a government anti-bullying campaign at the time. He and his group were dropped from the campaign, which was quite big news in the tabloids, although Live from Studio 5 didn't seem that interested.
No idea why. Coincidentally, the following week, the band were guests on the show.
They were interviewed live on air and quizzed for 5.5 minutes with not one mention of the text story.
Instead, they were asked which Brit nomination they wished they'd got.
Best group, best
breakthrough. Best breakthrough as well.
There were other equally probing questions.
So what have you all been up to? Enjoying yourselves?
Holidays for me and Dappy.
Sent any texts recently?